with us this evening, and you guys, and you ladies are in for a phenomenal treat. My good friend Lynn Spencer is our presenter tonight, and I'm Steve Bishop. I'm an executive director with the United Financial Freedom, and I've only been around not quite as long as Lynn with United Financial Freedom since 2008. But my good friend Lynn Spencer, who's on tonight, Lynn actually dates all the way back to 2006. He actually was one of the first 10 agents with United Financial Freedom, way back when we just had our first edition. Is that right, Lynn? So, but anyway, let me tell you a little bit about him. Like I said, he actually is a senior executive director. He's married to his beautiful wife, Carmen. They're the co-founders of Financial Freedom Ministry. He actually is a Christian author. He's a follower of the Lord Jesus Christ. But the great thing, what I can say about him, he's a servant, and he loves serving people. But I also, if I might add, he's one of my dearest friends on the earth. So my good friend, my brother, Lynn Spencer, take it away.
Thank you so much, Steve. Appreciate the awesome introduction, and thank you all for being on tonight. We are truly blessed to have you as part of this presentation tonight, and we're just praying that it blesses you like it has blessed us over the years. Friends, I do want to welcome you to United Financial Freedom. This is the Pathway to Financial Freedom presentation, and I'll just let you read that legalese statement there for just a moment. But again, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day and joining us here tonight. So let's dive right in. Friends, tonight I want to start out the presentation with this question. What do you want out of life? Have you ever thought about that? Ever thought about what you want out of life? Well, if you've thought about what you want out of life, how are you going to get it? The next question is, what if you could literally, rapidly, and easily achieve both financial and time freedom? The older I get, the more important time freedom is in my life. And of course, financial freedom is just incredible. But time freedom is truly something that is just cherished and extremely valuable. Friends, I'm going to show you tonight an opportunity that will give you both financial and time freedom in record time. I want to introduce you to United Financial Freedom. This is the only company and program that literally allows you to rapidly and simultaneously decrease debt, any debt, mortgages, car loans, student loans, boat loans, RV loans, tax debt, whatever debt you have, maybe it's healthcare debt, decrease your debt very, very rapidly, saving you hundreds of thousands of dollars in interest, and at the same time, rapidly increasing your income. Think about that. What if you could work remotely in a very prestigious business that would accomplish everything that I have right there on the screen? What if you could accomplish earning $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a week, and at the same time rapidly crush your debt and completely become debt-free in record time? Well, friends, that's what United Financial Freedom offers. Let me tell you just a little bit about our history. These two gentlemen, Skylar Whitman here on the top and John Washenko, started our company back in the 1990s, and it was a mortgage company back then. And into the early 2000s, they ran one of the most highly successful mortgage companies in the Intermountain West. In fact, they were literally growing so fast. They were in the early 2000s, they were bringing on hundreds of new mortgage clients every single month. They were truly expanding and growing and doing very, very well. The owners were exceedingly rewarded. But they discovered and became aware that their clients were doing some of the same behavioral things with their mortgages and other debts that they had seen their parents do when they were young. You see, both of these guys grew up as childhood friends. And in their youth, both of their families lost their homes because of debt and because of foreclosure. And so because of that, and that really stuck with them when they saw their clients doing some of the same financial behavior, which is basically coming back and refinancing every 2 to 3 years, pulling out the equity, doing whatever they do with it, and then going right back into another 30-year mortgage, they realized we've got to do something to help our clients. So they originally invested millions of dollars to develop a program that would help their clients. That was their original goal. They wanted to help their clients. Well, by 2004, they rolled out the first version of the Money Max program. And by 2006, just 2 years later, they realized that it was so incredible, so powerful, and so life-changing for their clients, they decided to take it nationwide. And that's when they made the shift from being a mortgage company to a financial freedom company. And I'm going to share with you what the Money Max account program does and what it's all about in a moment. But let me just tell you this. I'll just share this much with you right now. The Money Max account program is the only program on the planet that allows people, as we already talked about, to rapidly pay off all of their debts, whatever debts they have, including a 30-year mortgage, in as little as 5 to 7 years without changing their lifestyle, without changing their budget, and without having to refinance, and frankly, without having to really qualify, and saving tens or even oftentimes hundreds of thousands of dollars of interest along the way. This program and this company has truly changed my life, and I believe it's going to change yours as well. And the beautiful part of that is you really do not have to sacrifice your lifestyle. In fact, we don't want you to. They've won a lot of awards over the years, including the Ernst & Young Entrepreneur of the Year award that was given to them back in 2008. They were actually nominated for that award by a Wells Fargo regional banker. And friends, Ernst & Young deep dives into the companies that they are investigating before they ever hand out any awards. They come in and deep dive, and they did that with United Financial Freedom. They dug into their financials, their longevity, their retention, the product viability. What is the impact on the consumer? This same award was given to the founders of Apple, Starbucks, eBay, and Microsoft. So that puts us in a very prestigious company. And again, we've been featured in multiple magazines over the years all over the country. And to date, friends, we have now helped our clients, many of which are now 100% debt-free. We have helped our clients pay off over $2.4 billion of principal debt. Friends, that's a lot of debt. $2.4 billion of principal debt completely paid off. Again, many of our clients are totally debt-free today. So I want to share some of the reasons and some of the things that are behind this program so that you can really understand it better. And one of the main things I need to share with you here tonight, friends, is do you know the true cost of debt? And most Americans don't. Sadly, most Americans have no idea how much their debts are really, truly costing them. So let me give you just a couple of examples. Let's say that I wanted to go down to the local electronics store and buy one of those big 85-inch big screen TVs and hang on the wall. And I want it to be the latest and the greatest and have all the bells and the whistles. And I don't have the money to buy it, but I'm going to go put it on my Visa card. Let's say that the TV is $2,500 and that there's an 18% interest rate on that Visa. If I only pay the minimum monthly payment on that big screen TV or on the Visa card, did you know that it's going to take 333 months to pay it off? 333 months. That's almost as long as a mortgage. It's going to cost me another $5,896.48 just in interest alone. The total cost of the TV over the life of that debt becomes $8,396. Friends, over the life of the debt, that's not 18% I'm paying back. I'm paying 235% in interest. Let's look at mortgages. This is one of the areas where, again, this was a mortgage company. And this is one of the areas where they realized we can genuinely really help our clients in a substantial way, because most people are hung up on this annual percentage rate that their mortgage lender tells them. And they get that stuck in their head and they think that they're borrowing and paying just that annual percentage rate when they're actually paying a great deal more. Let me show you what I mean. Let's say that I have a $300,000 mortgage with a 4% annual percentage rate, monthly payment of $1,432.25. Well, every month when I make that monthly payment, how much of it is going to principal? How much is going to interest? If you look at those two columns, you start to get the real picture. There's a lot more going to interest than there is principal. And let's look at some of the markers on this loan. At the 5-year mark, we will have paid in $85,935. The bank only gives us credit for $28,657. That's how much went to principal. Well, look at that. 85,000, almost 86,000 paid in. We got credit for 28,000. Where did the other $57,000 go? Yeah, that went to interest. And it's not 4%. Through the first 5 years, it's 66.7% interest. Look at the 10-year marker on this loan. 171,870 paid to the bank. They only credit us with 63,648 in principal. That means 108,000 went to interest, 62.97% up to the 10-year mark on that mortgage. At the 20-year mark, when you're barely reaching about the halfway point where you've paid off roughly half of the principal amount of the loan, look how much interest you've paid on this loan. 185,000 has gone to pure interest. It's still 53.88% interest, even at the 20-year mark. And at the 30-year mark, when it's paid off, you've paid $215,000 on a $300,000 note. Mathematically, you paid 41.81% interest over the life of the loan. 41.81% interest. And people sometimes have a hard time believing that. Well, let me pull up a Truth in Lending screenshot for you. This is one of our recent clients, and you can see right here on screen. And this is right off from their mortgage documents. They borrowed $396,670. That was the mortgage amount. Their annual percentage rate was 2.659%. Look what it says right here on the Truth in Lending. It says this is not your interest rate. And that, in fact, I'm going to blow that up so you can really see it. This is not your interest rate. Well, if that's not, what is? Oh, it's this total interest percentage down below. That's the big number, 42.24%. How many Americans realize they are paying 40, 50, 60, some are paying 70 or 80% interest on their mortgage, and they have no idea. Friends, in the financial world, that's what we call insanity, because interest doesn't buy us anything. We get nothing for that. That's just bank profit. Not only do we not get anything for it as consumer, when we give that kind of money to the bank, we're literally giving the bank our retirement. Well, friends, let me ask you how technology has changed your world. For an example, if you were going to take a trip across country, would you pull out a whole bunch of maps? If you were going to go from, let's say, Boston to LA, would you pull out a whole bunch of state maps and start mapping it all out and figuring out where everything goes and how you want to get there? No. You're going to go to your phone, or you're going to go to your car, and you're going to punch in your destination into the GPS. Why? Because you know the GPS is going to get you there the fastest way, the shortest route possible, save you the most amount of time possible, and it's going to make your trip a lot easier. So, friends, you've discovered already that that GPS saves you a lot of time, a lot of hassle, and a lot of headache, right? Well, that's exactly what United Financial Freedom developed. They developed a financial GPS using technology and countless bank strategies that allows the average American to have a financial GPS for their finances that will show them the exact path to take every single day in order to become debt-free and even create wealth. You can cancel interest. It has real-time guidance built in, financial strategies that are specific to you. It's literally customized to you. Friends, technology changes things in a big, big way. And when you combine technology with the right business opportunity, the right company at the right time, that changes everything. Let me show you John and Rebecca Jones. You can see right here on screen, they've got 5 different debts. I'm going to start at the bottom and read up. They've got a $325,000 brand new 30-year mortgage, 3.89%. They've got a Visa card. It's at 18.9%, $2,500 balance. You can see the monthly payments here on the right. Student loans of $30,000, 2.89%. Automobile loan at $27,500 for 2.99%. And an American Express card that they owe $1,250 on at 21.99%. The principal amount of those 5 debts for John and Rebecca totals up to be $386,250. But that's just the principal. That does not include the interest that the banks are planning to charge John and Rebecca Jones. Any idea how much interest the banks are going to charge them? $241,918 just in interest. Friends, that's insane. That's crazy. Do you think John and Rebecca understand and know and want to pay almost $42,000 in interest? No. Now there's a better way. You see, the bank says, hey, John and Rebecca, you're going to be paying us $628,168. That's the principal and the interest combined. Here comes the Money Max account, says, no, John and Rebecca, $242,000 of interest is crazy. That's not what you're going to pay. We're going to save you $171,000 of that interest, 171 grand, folks. We're going to show you your exact payoff date, and you're not going to be in debt 30 years. You're going to be paid off in 9.1. Friends, I told you that's life-changing, completely life-changing. And it gets even better because this is the same money that is currently flowing through their hands right now. John and Rebecca don't have to change their lifestyle. They don't have to refinance. They're simply using the Money Max account to manage their money in a much more efficient manner to save the most amount of interest and time. No change to their lifestyle, no refinancing necessary. This guide tells them exactly how to use their ordinary checking and savings account at any bank or credit union exactly and precisely in order to maximize their current cash flow. Friends, that's incredible. But again, it gets even better because John and Rebecca then decide, you know, this is pretty powerful. If we went from 30 years down to 9.1, and we're going to save 171,000, we're going to start sharing this with some of our friends. There's a business opportunity here. We're going to take advantage of it. So they decide at least one family a month is going to hear from them about this incredible program. That's going to generate at least $1,000 a month in extra income. They plug that in, they get pretty impressed, and then they decide, man, that's pretty awesome. What if we did one a week? What if we helped one family a week? Just part-time, maybe an extra 3, 4, 5 hours a week. What would it do for one family a week with an extra $1,000 a week of income? Watch the dashboard. We just went from 9.1 years down to 5 years for John and Rebecca, and they're going to save $201,000 of interest just by adding a little part-time business to what they already do. That gets Rebecca really excited, and she decides, I don't know why I'm killing myself at my day job. I need to be doing this, really, I need to be doing this full time. So she decides, hey, I'm going to stay home. I'm going to do this full time. I can generate at least $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a week. We'll just say $3,000 a week on average income. They go ahead and plug that in and they get rid of her day job. Look what it does for John and Rebecca. They're going to be debt free in 2.5 years and save $219,000. Friends, life changing. Absolutely life changing for John and Rebecca. It's extraordinary. But it gets even better because after John and Rebecca are completely debt free in just 2.5 years, they can then invest all of that money that was going to debt payments for that 27.5 years of time that the program saved them. And at just a 1% return at the end of that same 30-year period of time, they could have $4.5 million saved for retirement. It's brilliant, it's life-changing, and that, my friends, is why we do what we do. We make freedom simple. United Financial Freedom helps people in an extraordinary way. And I'm going to do something a little bit different tonight because, quite frankly, I need to get a drink and clear my throat for a minute. So I'm going to stop sharing right there and ask Steve, would you share your testimonial, Steve? And then I'll come back and cover the income opportunity.
I sure would be awesome again. And folks, I'm telling you, let me just kind of, again, when I was first introduced to United Financial Freedom back in November of 2008, at that time, I had been in the financial services business ever since 1971. So how many years is that, Steve? That's 29 plus 8. I had been in the financial services business as an agent and as an advisor for 37 years. Well, I was completely blown away. I was in a meeting here in Atlanta and I wanted to find out more about this company because I could see where I could really help people. But hey, also, guess what? At that time, me and my wife Sue, guess what? We had a big mortgage. We owed for 2 cars. And I hate to tell you this, we even had some credit card debt, about this much. Well, I went out and so basically we came back and I went to Salt Lake City. You don't have to do that because we've already done that. But I met with the creators of our program, John Washenko and Skylar Whitman, and it blew me away. So we came back and guess our first clients, guess who it was? Steve and Sue Bishop. I could tell you story after story. We've been able to even work with a church that's completely mortgage and debt free. And I'm working now initially with another church that I'm going to be working with 12 other pastors. I'm so blessed. Let me kind of share with you. I got one of my clients, a young couple in their mid-30s. She's a school teacher, and he basically is he's in the logging business. Well, they've just built a brand new home, and I referred him to a mortgage person. So, well, why did I do that? Because number one, they didn't have the cash to pay cash for this house. Well, so they mortgaged the house. They got a mortgage of $233,821. My client calls me last Friday and he says, listen, Steve, I've got the documents from the closing. They've been emailed to me and I'm going through there. He says, I'm supposed to have a 6.25% interest rate. He says, but it says that the interest rate is 121%. What is that? I said, oh, let me explain that to you. You're going to borrow $233,280. And guess what? It's 6.25%. But over the span of that 30-year mortgage, you're going to pay back, in addition to that $233,280, you're going to pay back a total of, in interest alone, not the principal, $282,268.80. 30 years. Wait a minute. He's 35. Well, the good thing is, if he doesn't refi again, when he's 65, it'd be completely mortgage and debt free. But guess what? This pumps me, guys. This fires me up. Guess what? We've got them debt free in 4.1 years. We're gonna save them. We're gonna guess what? Now that 4.1 years, their debt payment they're paying, and I hate to go so long, Lynn, but I'm just excited about this. But here we are, in addition to that mortgage, they've got $18,017.20. They own 2 cars. They got $7,424.93 in credit cards. They're spending to service their debt $1,924.78. Now, guess what? Once they're debt free in 4.1 years, now again, in 4 years, he's going to be 39 years old. But whereas before, without the money merge account, he's going to be 65. Well, if we take that same money that they would have been spending, that $1,924.78 a month, times the 20 times the 311 months we're going to save them, if they only earn 1%, they're going to have $1,966,745 that we would not have had if they continued paying that mortgage. Listen, folks, I'm excited about this. We need people to help us. This is the greatest opportunity. And I know I probably sound like I'm excited, which I'm excited, but this excites me. You know why? Because we change lives. So, hey, then I can go on and on this, and this is the Lord has blessed us because of what we do.
Absolutely.
Thank you, brother.
I'm glad you took time to share that. That is powerful. That is exciting.
Hey, also, can I also add?
Absolutely.
Last week I had a client. And this was our record. We paid off their mortgage. We paid off two vehicles, a commercial vehicle, $11,000 personal loan in 26 months.
Wow.
So, folks, people need our help. Guess what? And I tell you, and when you do what's right, God blesses you and He opens doors for you. So say, hey, you deserve to be mortgage and debt free, but also we need you to help us set America free. Thank you.
Amen, Steve. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I'm just going to quickly go back and just let people know that we will pay them extremely well to become part of what we do and to help those millions of Americans that need help, because they do. Like Steve said, they need help, and they just absolutely love us once they realize what this program does for them. So thank you so much, Steve, for sharing that. Friends, United Financial Freedom pays 6 different ways. And I'm not going to go into every detail of those 6 different ways. There's a lot to cover. I'm just going to cover just one way, and that is the personal commissions. On an average program that gets people out of debt in record time and saves them tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars in interest, United Financial Freedom pays us very, very well. You can see here at the bottom, the beginning pay would be about $900. We do want you to split your first 2 sales, because we want to make sure that you're trained correctly and understand what you can say and can't say and how to go about it and how to go through the process. It's pretty simple, pretty easy, but we want to make sure you're trained. So you're going to split the first couple of sales with a trainer. And then as you help more families, you can get a raise. You can get a raise in pay, a higher contract. So after you've helped roughly about 5 families, you're going to now be up to the level where you're making about $1,000 every time you help a family, save a whole bunch of money and time. After you've helped about 10 families or so, you're now up at around $1,130. Now, friends, these numbers that are populating here on the side, that's the difference between whatever level you're at and the level that somebody else on your team comes in at, if you choose to build a team. There's no requirement to build a team. You don't have to. You don't have to, and the company doesn't make you, but some of us have chosen to build a team, and it doesn't have to be a big team. It can be just a handful of people that really love and care about others, and you can make extraordinary money if you decide to build a team. So let me continue here and show you how easy this is. If you decided to build a team, you'll notice that these other numbers over here say how much sales volume is required to get promoted to each level. Friends, don't let this scare you, because it's really only 10 sales, and then have a couple of other people on your team that each do 10 sales. And if you've got 10 with Sally, 10 with Ted, and 10 with yourself, you've done 30 sales on your team. You're now an executive director. You've made the highest contract level in the company, and you're making about $1,500 every time you help a family. Friends, we've got a lot of people in this company that will easily help 2, 3, 4 families per week. Easily. There's a lot of business out there. There's a lot of families that need help. But let me give you just an example. If I'm an executive director, if my contract level is $1,550 and I have 5 people on my team, let's say that I have one managing director, 1 senior director, 1 director, 1 senior associate, 1 associate. These are my overrides that I get when I bring people onto my team and help them and support them. So there's me and 5 people, 1 at each level on my team. If we all help just 1 family per week, look at my income, $3,600 a week. That's equivalent to $187,000 a year. That's just me and 5 other people, 5 other professionals that really love and care about people, helping 1 family a week. What if we kicked it up a notch and we each help 2 families a week? Well, it doubles. My income would be $7,200 a week under that scenario, $374,000 per year. Friends, this is crazy good. It's a lot of fun. And so we just want to kind of wrap it up right there and invite you to get back to the person that invited you to the presentation tonight and get your questions answered and find out how easy it is to have a beautiful professional career, make a lot of money, and help a lot of people. Steve, I'm going to turn it back to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lynn. I certainly appreciate that. Well, listen, folks, we've got other folks in here. I'd like to invite Tony Lee. Tony actually is up in North Carolina, and one of our associates. And Tony, if you would just give us a testimony, if you don't mind that, brother.
Absolutely. Great job, Lynn and Steve. Both of you loved your testimonial, Steve. Look, everyone, what I love about this business is you get to sit down and talk to people all over the country that are looking for hope. And we give that to them. We are a blessing to them. We've saved many of them's marriages. We've saved their lives. We've saved their homes as well. Look, I've worked with people who make just $20-some thousand a year to people who are making high 6-figure incomes a year with our program. Doesn't matter where you are. Everyone has some form of debt that is costing them money. And that's what our program does. It takes that money away. And we're looking for people, whether you're a regular homemaker, a teacher, or just someone looking for some extra income, to professionals. Probably 75% of all our agents carry a professional license. And I challenge you as a professional. I've helped so many people that when I go to ask them who's their mortgage guy, who's their real estate guy, who's their insurance guy, they can't believe that none of them has shared that information with them.
Right.
I have become their hero instead of the professional. I don't carry a license. So if you're a professional out there, you really need to take a hard look at this and start making this part of your program for all of your clients, because it's going to help you get referrals. It's going to help you build your business. Secondly, you're going to become the hero instead of someone else. And you can work with other professionals and create a conglomerate of people that are helping your clients. And that is such a huge thing today, people, with the economy and the way things are. Look, we need to take responsibility of our own money and make sure that it's making us money instead of making the financial institutions money. And look, God bless you for being here. You're here for a reason. Please get back to the person who shared this with you tonight and make a commitment to get your numbers run just to see what the program will do for you and learn how we work and what we do for people. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Tony. We certainly appreciate that, my friend. And again, as Tony just said, listen, we appreciate each one of you being on with us this evening. And Lynn, again, thanks again, brother, for the great presentation. And whoever invited you to our program tonight, listen, get back to them. You know what? Listen, you say, well, listen, Steve, I'm not sure about this. Well, that just get back with that person. Let them run your free analysis. Let's just talk and see if we could help partner with you to help other people. Well, listen, thanks so much for dialing in with us tonight. And we look forward to see you very, very soon. And again, let's keep looking up. Thank you so much. God bless.